Oh, it's 2.5. I shortened it.
Oh, okay. I got time to get a beer either way, so okay.
Hey everybody, it's time for GMG in the Raw Live. Grab your favorite beverage of choice and join us as we discuss the Minnesota Vikings. Feel free to add in your comments and we'll talk about them on air. GMG in the Raw Live is about to start. Look at the countdown timer. Once it hits 0, we're starting with the best Vikings post-game show out there. Type in your questions, your comments. We'll talk about them. Played. You know what that means. It's time. SKOL. Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Good Morning Gallahorn, and this is GMG in the Raw Live. After the Vikings lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Yay.
Joke job.
With me tonight, to the viewers right, there is the one, the only, Mr. Ted Glover. How's the G-Lover doing tonight?
Not too bad. My brother Travis is a big Cowboys fan, so I'm probably going to not hear the end of it from him over this. But this is the last of the spotted cow that he brought me when he came to visit, so I'm going to at least rub that in his face as much as I can. So we'll see. Yeah. SKOL Vikes. Let's light this candle.
And below me is the fantastic one and only Mr. Flip Buzzy.
This intro works a lot better. That music works a lot better after a win, I'll tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And last but not least, it's Grumpy, the bass ripper. How you doing, Drew?
Told you I wanted Black Swan. That's what I said, didn't I?
And I told you to send it to me, and have you?
Can't you listen? Mike Zimmer? Can't you listen, Zimmer? Can't you just do the right fucking thing? Come on.
Drew, do you only have Grumpy or do you have all 7 dwarves? And then you just like pull up the emotion that you're feeling. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dude.
That's not disturbing or anything. Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have Dopey in there for Zimmer today?
I use that for Dave when he talks.
Ah. L-Rock has joined us tonight. First one.
Actually, here's the one I use when Dave talks.
Sleepy. I wish I was sleepy.
No, they're from my eBay store. I got them as a collection. I'm selling them.
Cool.
Oh,
Honestly,
where do we start with this fucking mess?
Speaking of where to start, lead it off there, Flip.
I mean, you know,
Defense sucks balls.
The defense sucks. I think we knew the defense was not that good. The games they had the last 3 weeks, they were just against bad offenses. Hate to break it, everybody. We knew that they were outplaying what they actually were. But going into this game, they were 22nd in points allowed in the NFL. We knew the defense wasn't that good. And they blew it late. It's still really depressing to see Andy Dalton, CeeDee Lamb, amazing athlete, but it's Andy Dalton and Dalton Schultz and Tony Pollard scoring against this Mike Zimmer defense. It's just not something that we can accept at face value. And then the offense going against the worst scoring defense in the NFL. I know they put up 28 points. I know we saw some awesome things from Adam Thielen, from Justin Jefferson. Kirk just had a great game today, but that same offense still just they just upchucked in the first half, and you can't do that. You can't go into a game and lose the turnover battle and lose in the first half and expect to win at the end of the game. You can't dig yourself a 9-point deficit at halftime and pretend like everything's just A-okay. It's not what this team is good at. This team wins clean games. They don't win penalty-ridden, turnover-ridden type affairs. They can't fight themselves out of that. Kirk gave us hope, but still, just like you look to that first half was absolute fucking trash, boys.
No lies detected. No lies detected.
Ted, what was your feelings on this one?
It's hard to top what Flip said. Going down 16-7, only scoring 7 points and losing the turnover battle in the first half to a terrible Cowboys team was inexcusable. Mm-hmm. They played a very good second half, I thought. The only thing I would add to what Flip said is they had a bad first half, but the last 2 times the Minnesota Vikings had the ball, they had, I think, when they got it with 6 minutes left, give or take, they should have gone on a drive to end the game right there. But they didn't. And when they got the ball back with 1:39 and 1 timeout, if you bring, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. If you bring Kirk Cousins in and pay him that much money to be a quote-unquote franchise quarterback, 1:39 and 1 timeout from your own 20 or 25, wherever they started from, should be more than enough time to go down the field and score a touchdown against the 29th ranked defense in the National Football League. And the Minnesota Vikings crap down their leg yet again. That it's just completely inexcusable. Completely inexcusable.
It is. I'm not arguing with you.
Drew? Let me ask real quick. Hey, real quick. Just without looking, have you guys looked at the stats yet?
I brought them up quickly.
Don't look.
I haven't looked.
How many yards passing do you think Andy Dalton had?
280.
I'm going to go 320.
203.
203.
203. Damn.
So how valuable were those 203 yards? Because it seemed every time Andy Dalton completed a pass, that receiver, whether it was CeeDee Lamb or Schultz, the tight end, or Amari Cooper, they were wide freaking open.
Well,
every single time.
It's because they ran the ball better than the Vikings did. The defensive line was trash. We got 1 sack. We got 3 pressures all game. I mean, silent game from Shamar Stephen. Didn't see Jalen Holmes. Didn't see DJ Wanham. I didn't expect to see him, to be honest. I mean, just nothing. If the game is won in the trenches, that explains the entire Minnesota Vikings game, because they lost the defensive battle. All their front 4 on the defensive line sucked all day today. Their front 5 on the offensive line sucked in the first quarter, generating that strip sack. So it's not good enough. And for all the shit we said about going on a run, easy teams, talking about the playoffs, this is why I didn't want to talk about the playoffs. This is why.
Drew?
And Freddie Hall, I'm sorry, man. I love you. You're in the comments right now. We don't talk about the refs. We don't excuse this game on the ref performance. If you want to play the game on the refs, you can go listen to some other podcasts, because that's not what I'm going to do on this show.
No. Refs didn't decide this game.
Plus, you lost the Michael Bennett helmet, saying we're going 7-1. The Vikings are a scared team, gentlemen. They play scared. They coach scared. They're scared.
They weren't scared. Don't give me that bullshit. They came out aggressive.
They're scared.
No, but okay.
Plays off all the time. The defense.
They just didn't execute.
I mean, how many fucking slant patterns do you got to give up before you're going to go press the guy and make him beat you with something else? The Vikings got out coached again today by McCarthy. McCarthy was laughing because he's going, I need to move the ball without using Andy Dalton. I don't want to use the red rifle. That guy's terrible. And you know what he did? He ran the ball and won the game, because the Vikings didn't figure out we need to stop the run. McCarthy made it totally obvious that I'm going to run the ball until you stop me, and then you're going to make Dalton beat you. He didn't want to use Dalton only in pressure situations when he had to, in total obvious passing downs. Otherwise, we're
so you think Zimmer's game plan was not to stop the run?
Let's go ahead. Go ahead. Give me your Zimmer spiel. Go ahead. I'm ready for it.
No, but you're telling me that Zimmer went out there and told the defense, don't stop the run. Bullshit. You know he was coaching them to stop the run. But they got beat at it.
No, dude, this was weak.
Zimmer's Vince Lombardi. Let's hear it. Go ahead.
He's not, but you're blaming it on Zimmer for the players not executing.
I'm blaming it on Zimmer because the players are not prepared. They're not emotionally prepared. They're overconfident over beating 3 crap-ass teams. And you're playing a team that has lost 4 in a row. Okay, they're pissed. Their backs are against the wall. They're still in their divisional race. The Cowboys are They're going to come out. They're going to be physical. They're going to hit. Okay, they're going to win this game. They're going to try to win. And if you just waltz in there pretending everything's okay, we got our primetime purple jerseys on. Oh, we're on a roll now. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. You got to come in and you got to be like, when they hit you, you got to hit back. And we did not see that today, Nope. And that's what Adam Thielen got hit, held onto the ball. Dalvin Cook got hit, forced his way into the end zone. Next Dalvin Cook hit, he fumbles the ball. That's a big play. The Cowboys were hitting all game long. They were winning in the offense and defensive line all game long, and the Vikings were not ready for that. They thought this game was going to be easier than it was. And that's on Mike Zimmer.
And there you go.
How often do we see this where the Vikings come out flat, uninspired, whatever the word is you want to use, against teams they should just not come out flat and uninspired against? I mean, I can excuse. I mean, it's if you don't score in the first drive, that's not the end of the world. But you give up a strip sack, you let the Cowboys offense kind of do whatever they want the first half, and the next thing you know, it's 16-7, and you're at home, and yeah, It's a different atmosphere. I get it because there's no crowds and all that stuff, but you're still at home. You don't have to travel. You don't have to get on a plane. You don't live in a hotel. You should be better. Why can't the Vikings do what they did in the third and most of the fourth quarter in the first half? You put what they did in the third quarter in the first quarter, and this isn't even a close game. The Vikings win, I think, fairly handily. But how many stinking times do we see this? I mean, it's almost every single week that they just seem to get forever to get on track.
Ted, it's after a big game. It's the Zimmer theory, dude. After a big, take the day off, take the wife and kids out. Yeah, go have fucking dinner. We don't need to practice this week. Oh, everybody, day off.
The idea that this team was going to win like 7 in a row or 6 in a row was always ridiculous.
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
But Drew, you called them winning and scoring 41 points.
They were unprepared. They were no discipline on the team, and
KJ Osborne's the worst player. KJ Osborne's the worst player I've seen in purple. He's worse than Chad Beebe. I think it's been 5 years since I've seen a player as bad as KJ Osborne.
This felt a lot like the Falcons game. It did feel a lot like the guy just wrote in. Guy just sent a message on the screen. It did feel a lot like the Falcons game. Dallas came in here.
Yes, is it worse than the Falcons loss?
Dallas had a good. Dallas was more physical, like Flip said. Dallas beat us to the punch. Dallas was more intense. They wanted the game. They just looked better all the way around. I mean, we made a move there in the second half, but when push came to shove that last drive, we just sat back in the vanilla defense and let the red rifle drive us all the way down to the victory. I mean, come on, man.
Y'all, the Cowboys are 2-7. The Falcons had their starting quarterback at least. The Cowboys are 2-7 without their starting quarterback. It's a home game.
Worst defense in the NFL, just about.
Worst defense in the NFL, and you score 7 points on them in the first half.
Oh.
This game is just typical in a lot of ways. When the Vikings are not doing well, they're a poorly disciplined team, and we saw that today. We saw untimely penalties. Now, I will say the few times they had a good play and a 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 was now 1st and 15 or 1st and. The Vikings offense did a very good job of overcoming those, I thought. But you have this huge play with the Chris Boyd fake punt that really seemed, I thought, could have been a turning point, and then you have this boneheaded, he doesn't get set. He's the last guy on the line of scrimmage, so he has to be set before the Vikings snap the ball, and he's jumping around like he's got grasshoppers in his uniform or something. I just, it's just little stuff like that just good teams don't do. Good teams do not do stuff like that. They execute those plays.
They don't. Somebody explained to me this. After we scored that touchdown, that Dallas drive where Pollard ran that one in, that whole drive. Somebody explain that fucking drive to me. Somebody explain it. Somebody tell me right now what the fuck we were doing on defense in that drive.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Tell me!
It was such a great fucking response. And a Mike Zimmer defense closes down that next drive, shuts them down. Vikings score, get the lead. Mike Zimmer defense come back, shuts it down, just eliminates hope of a late comeback. And instead, we let in a 42-yard walk-in touchdown to a backup running back. Are you kidding me? And you're telling me, David, it's not Mike Zimmer's fault?
He's not the one on the field executing.
It's Zimmer's fault. That's
okay. Like maybe you can say, "Oh, the cornerbacks were injured. Oh, we're playing with backup cornerbacks." Okay, fine. Anthony Harris, he's been a fucking ghost all season long. Eric Wilson, people want to rep that guy. What is Eric Wilson really doing? The interior defensive line sucks. Harrison Smith had a crap ass game. Like who is Mike Zimmer coaching if not those 11 players on the field? Because if you don't want to put it on Mike Zimmer, those 11 players on the field are all sucking too.
So here's the thing with that drive. You know, the Vikings at the time. Let's see. Let me go back to make sure I'm talking right here. Okay, so the Vikings are down 16-14. They had scored to open the half to make it 16-14. They forced Dallas to punt. They get the ball and go on a 12-play, 81-yard drive and eat up almost 7 minutes of game clock. And they score a touchdown. You can't be much more rested than that if you're a Minnesota Vikings defense. You can't. Right. And now they take the lead. They take the lead 21-16, and now all the defense has to do is not give up a 5-play touchdown that culminates in a 40-yard run by Tony Pollard. And if the Vikings get the ball back after a 3-and-out or maybe one first down and get the ball back, Dallas's defense is on the verge of getting gassed, and they're almost ready to get knocked out. They're on the ropes. They are. And then the Vikings just do that. Vikings defense just lays over like a prepaid, like whatever, man. I'm not sure.
Honestly, man, like
never mind.
This is easily the best game that we've got from Kirk Cousins this year.
I think so.
This is maybe the best game of Kirk Cousins' Minnesota Vikings career, honestly.
Except for he didn't do the 2-minute drill with this crap. But
what are you even asking of this guy to do a 2-minute drill after he goes 3-14?
Hey, I grew up with quarterbacks doing a 2-minute drill, and you expected them to drive.
I'm asking him to win the game.
Be it whomever. Yeah, be it, you can list a whole list of them. He doesn't do that. There isn't, and we've got receivers that can do that, but he doesn't. I'm sorry.
He did it today.
The offensive line looked like crap. I started out in the first quarter.
We wasted a good Kirk Cousins game. Like
in the first quarter when fucking Brett Jones got run over and he got sacked for that sack fumble BS, that started it. It was not the same.
That's on the offensive line. That's on the offensive line. I don't see many good Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah, and you're saying the throw to Jefferson where Jefferson dropped is not on Cousins. Okay, fine. But then he comes around. He's got to be the one. You're telling me Zimmer leads everything, and yet when somebody drops a pass, that's not on Cousins. Cousins is the offensive leader. Does not he have to lead everything too? No, there's that double standard. And
what did you want Kirk to do differently that he didn't do today? Tell me
take
one
the
play.
team down and score a touchdown with a minute 39 and one timeout left.
Or at least get close enough to tie it up.
Yeah, because
he threw the ball to Jefferson right there.
The field goal range. What's that?
He threw the ball to Jefferson right there. The offensive line broke down. He missed on the deep pass. I mean, the guy.
He had a good game. I agree that. But when it comes to clutch, it doesn't happen. It's only happened twice.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not that much of a Kirk apologist, but I'm gonna be honest with you.
When was he?
This is Mike Zimmer.
Did Kirk Cousins? Did Kirk Cousins in the offense
twice in the game?
Did Kirk Cousins in the offense?
We were down 16-14. He threw a touchdown pass. We were down 24-21. He threw another touchdown pass. When was he clutch? Are you kidding me? He was clutch all fucking game.
Except for the last 2 minutes.
Did the Vikings offense play well enough to win this game?
Oh,
they did.
They should have. Yes.
Yes, they did. I would argue they did. Yes.
Okay. Then it's on the defense.
Right.
I mean,
who is using guys that they got at 7-Eleven last week.
Hey, it's Dallas, guys. It's not
I tell you that offensive line.
It's Dallas, guys.
If you're going to hate on the offense, you're going to hate on the offensive line because
the fucking offense played well enough to win. The defense couldn't stop Dalton and the fucking Cowboys. Come on.
Both things can be true. The defense should have stopped the Cowboys. I absolutely agree. But I still maintain, and Flip is absolutely right, Kirk played a good game. He did. But when you have a minute 39 left and one timeout, I still argue that if you're paying Kirk Cousins top 10 QB money, then you expect him to drive the field. And if nothing else, get the Vikings in position to kick a field goal to win the game.
He's got to get you in field goal range.
I'm not going to defend Kirk Cousins anymore on a 4-6 game.
Kirk Cousins
making that much money.
He blew the Titans game. All he needed to do in the Titans game was get us into field goal range. We got a shot to win. He didn't do it. All he needed to do today really was to get into field goal range to extend the game at 31-31, and he couldn't do it. You got to at least get your fucking team in field goal range. And both the Titans game and this game, I think we went 3 and out or 4 and out. We didn't even get a first down in either one. So
no, I don't think so.
Kirk Cousins was a pile of shit on that last drive, but I think overall, if you look at the game, he made a lot of good plays out of the pocket, which we didn't expect. He kept a lot of plays alive.
He played very well, except for
but you got to come through in the money situations. He's got to get us at least in field goal range. He's got to get us in field goal range.
Give Kirk an overall grade. Give Kirk an overall grade on this game.
I'm going to say because he didn't come through in the last drive, he can't get an A. I'm going to give him a B.
Okay, Ted.
I'm going to go B+. If he'd have gotten at least a game time drive, would have been an A-.
My grade, Ted.
B+. I mean, he shaky first quarter, great second and third quarter, into the fourth quarter, but I can't give him an A.
David wants D-.
I mean, if you look at his stats, they were fabulous, but still, it comes down to that last drive, and can you rely on him? And no.
Give him a grade.
No,
Grade.
If you look at his stats, he's got an A, but that's his whole career. He always pads.
I don't want a grade, but give me a grade. Give me a grade.
He failed. He failed at the end. He fucking failed.
You're giving him an F?
He fucking failed at the end.
That's harsh.
That's
harsh.
It's like turning in the paper and not signing your name to it. It's an automatic F. That's what he did.
Your overall grade is an F for Kirk Cousins tonight.
Because he turned in the paper, everything was right except for the end, and he didn't sign his fucking name.
The answer is F.
Is it F?
Failed. Failed.
He failed. He failed. He failed. He failed.
Okay. There we go. Here we go. I'll only pull it out when I need to.
Oh my God, I'm tired.
How can you give him a failing grade for one possession when all the rest of the possessions?
Kirk Cousins gets an F. Let's get a new fire Aaron on it. We need a new quarterback up in here.
We do. What? One that can drive in the last 2 minutes and win.
Hey, stop. Let me add this. If that performance tonight, those numbers and that exact performance tonight was Teddy Bridgewater, what would your grade be?
Still, he failed.
No, you would no. Fuck no. You'd be going A-, dude. You'd be fucking throwing up an A- right now saying, you can't expect Teddy to win you out of the game. You can't expect Teddy to go down and win the game for you. Your defense sucks. You can't expect Teddy.
We fucking lost to the Cowboys, man. I can't be... Y'all, I fucking...
I'm not blaming it at all
more
on...
than a decade.
I'm not blaming it all on Kirk Cousins.
Win all year.
You're not blaming it on Kirk Cousins. You gave him a fucking F.
Yeah, because he didn't win. But...
Oh, my God.
But you're blaming it all on Zimmer.
It is all on Zimmer. How is it not on Zimmer?
He wasn't the one on the field, for fuck's sake.
He was the one on the field when Harrison Smith... Oh, my God. So, like, what? Is it Harrison Smith? At least give me one defensive scapegoat if you're going to give Kirk Cousins an F. Who sucked on defense, Dave?
Chris Jones, for one.
Okay, Chris Jones. Get rid of him. Fire everybody. He's out, too.
No, you don't... The defense is made up of Band-Aids and fucking duct tape. They do what they do. They're doing the best they can. They obviously didn't have enough to put together a win this week. But you still, when you have a chance to win and you're paying a quarterback $90-some-odd million, he should drive you down and win the fucking game.
Can I ask you one more question, Dave? if the defense is not good enough to win against that version of the Dallas Cowboys, who are they good enough to win against?
Obviously, the 3 division teams we just hit.
We got 6 games left. Who is that defense gonna shut down?
You gotta love
The rest of the division.
The rest of the division. Okay. So we're going 7-9, and we're gonna keep Mike Zimmer because it's not his fault. 2021.
No.
Hey, I told you guys before, fire the whole 3 Stooges. But right now, when you're looking at how are we going to do the rest of the season, and I also told you that the Wilfs will not do that. Don't be depressed when they keep them next year,
Why
because
the fuck
they
would
will.
I not be depressed? We're 4-6. We could have been 5-5. We could have been 5-5 if Mike Zimmer could coach a defense. We'd be 5-5. Green Bay just lost in overtime. 2 games out of the division lead. I was ready to talk playoffs once we got to 500. I was ready. I had my Randy Moss jersey ready for this show, and none of it happened because Mike Zimmer can't coach a defense.
Right when things are
Why
going
would that
well,
not depress me?
The Vikings take a big dump right when things are going
Just
well.
fucking shit all over the place. It's a home game.
Three
Win
in
the
a
fucking
row.
game.
I love you guys.
3 in a row.
I absolutely love you guys.
Feeling good. 3 in a row. Feeling good. Yeah. Got the Cowboys coming in. Yeah. And then they just. Oh.
So there've been a couple comments saying, "Hey, on that last drive,
A couple. There's been quite a few.
Jefferson,
Hey, Flip.
Flip,
you rock, Flip.
Jefferson dropped the ball, and you're right, but that was, I mean, and it was a good pass, and that wasn't a bad throw or anything. And for those of you saying that, you're absolutely right. Justin Jefferson should have caught that football. But I would counter come back and say the Vikings had 3 other downs to get 10 yards.
So what are we doing here? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ted. The second the Cowboys score that touchdown, the game is over. It's over.
Did you?
Are you saying with a minute and some odd seconds left, the Vikings offense couldn't drive? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
And that's on
guys.
Zimmer.
Did you expect them to score there? Did you expect them to score?
Guys,
I expected them, yes.
When Dallas got
You were
when
watching
Dallas,
a different
let me
team.
Let me ask you guys this. You can throw the answers back at me. When there was 4 minutes left and Dallas got the ball, didn't that last game-winning drive seem really kind of easy? That seemed kind of easy to me. When I was watching, I'm thinking...
The game-winning drive was easy.
Yeah,
the Pollard touchdown was easy.
It's like easy shit, man. It's like make them work for it.
So when it got to the 2-minute warning, and Dallas, they were inside the 10. They were like the 6 or 7, whatever it was.
I thought we used the timeouts wisely. I thought that was a good use of timeouts.
Right. See, now I was going to say I was looking at the game. And I said I said kind of out loud, they just ought to let Dallas score here. And my wife was sitting next to me, and she said, "Well, why would they do that? Dallas would take the lead." Well, yeah, you're right, but now you have a full 2 minutes. You've got 3 timeouts, and you have your whole playbook in front of you now. You can run you can run the ball because you've got the 2 extra timeouts. But by doing what the Vikings did, they burned 2 timeouts, and now they wasted over 40 seconds, and now you only have 139 and 1 timeout, and that's still enough time to go down and get in field goal range. I still argue it's
absolutely enough time.
I still argue it's enough time with guys like Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Irv Smith and Dalvin Cook out of the backfield catching passes. That should have been enough time to go down and score a touchdown. But you kind of limited yourself to having to throw the ball. Whereas if you had the full 2 minutes and 3 timeouts, you're still in the same situation. You're down 3 points and you need a field goal to tie, but you had more time and you would have had 2 more timeouts. So I kind of think they should have just, let the Red Sea part and let Zeke score or whoever.
Yeah. You let people do that. Let them score. You let them score if you have Russell Wilson or Mahomes. That's when you let them score. You got Kirk Cousins. You try to win the game on defense.
So, I mean,
but I just 4-yard line. You had about the 4-yard line with 3rd down. I don't know where they had it, but Yeah, I mean, I understand the strategy on the thing, but after the Titans game and after this game, I don't have any confidence that Kirk Cousins can even get us past the 50-yard line on the last drive. I mean, both those drives in each of those games, Ted, you didn't see the Titans ending. That was the worst
you saw
in NFL history. It was the
you
worst.
saw that
the worst
stat.
plays
Kirk
ever.
Cousins has the best fourth quarter passer rating in the NFL this year.
He got the lead twice. He got the lead twice. He should have. Kirk Cousins threw a touchdown to give us the lead. Then he threw another touchdown to give us the lead. That's 2 opportunities for the defense to sack up, and get their fucking job done and save this game. And they didn't do it. This game's on the defense, if you ask me.
Nick even just commented, "Hey, Chris Boyd gets the interception right down there on the goal line. That was ball game right there too." So
yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of missed opportunities today. It's that there's a reason the Minnesota Vikings are 4-6.
Yeah.
So where the fuck do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? That's a song. Somebody wrote that song somewhere. I think it was Asia.
Well, we got to win. We got to win 6 in a row. We got to win 6 in a row. We got to win 2 in a row because I'm not looking past 500. We got to win 2 in a row to get to 500.
It flips. Right. Kirk Cousins keeps putting up those F-grade games. Who knows where we're going?
Yo, if Kirk Cousins keeps on getting those Fs, man, we going 4-12.
Dave, it's all about the W's, baby. And if you can't get the W's, it doesn't matter.
So, if you can't stop a fucking team with your defense, it doesn't matter either.
Then you can't get the W.
It's Andy Dalton.
Yeah, it's Andy Dalton.
If the team doesn't win, who is overall responsible for the 1-loss record? The quarterback
the blame chart?
Or the head coach?
The blame chart. Blame chart. Here we go. Blame chart. Blame chart. Blame chart. Let's go.
I mean, it's a serious question. I mean, Dave, you say we kind of contradict ourselves with Kirk Cousins and Mike Zimmer. I'd flip that around and say you do the same thing, only in reverse. I mean, you're blaming Cousins for not winning this game, which I agree with you, but I would also argue the Vikings shouldn't have been down 31-28 to a 2-7 football team either.
Right.
I mean, this defensive preparation just was not good. I mean, and the execution of whatever the game plan was and whatever play Mike Zimmer called was not good. It just wasn't.
Right, but you're blaming. When we talk about who wins Super Bowls, it's always that quarterback with the it factor that stands out, that does it with the coach. And it's not so much the coach as it is the quarterback. Now, with the exception of the 2 years of the 85 Bears and the 2007 Ravens, right? It's always the quarterback. Do we have the quarterback that can do that? And no.
David.
And I'm saying if you get the quarterback that can do that with a decent coach, you're going to do that. I'm saying Zimmer is a decent coach without that quarterback.
David, I'm so glad you brought up the 85 Bears and the, what was it, 2007 Ravens?
I think it was 2007
It wasn't the 2007 Ravens. I mean, that's
which
like 7 years off.
Or whatever Ravens it was.
Whatever Ravens. The commonality between those two football teams is they hit the fuck out of teams. They hit the fuck out of people. And what did we see the day? We saw a Mike Zimmer team. That's the type of team he wants to build. He wants to build the 85 Bears. He wants to build the 07 Ravens.
Right.
He wants to smack the opponents all over the football field. But what happened today? His team showed up and they're like, oh, why are they trying to force fumbles? Oh, why are they trying to hit me? Fuck that. You're Mike Zimmer. You're on a Mike Zimmer team.
I agree, but he doesn't have the personnel that he did like 2 years ago.
Oh, fuck that logic, man. If he wants,
you can't.
If I'm watching a
fucking
Mike
people
Zimmer
leave.
Team,
people
I
get cut. People get hurt.
I don't care if we win.
People opt out because of COVID.
Hit them. Hit them. It's week 11. Hit
Thanks,
them.
Brady.
David. Would you like to see Mike Zimmer coaching this team next year?
He will be coaching this team yesterday.
I don't.
That wasn't
That's
the question.
That's not the answer.
That's not the question. Would you like to see Mike Zimmer coaching this team next year?
I would like to see that with a new quarterback.
So you would like to see
better
Mike Zimmer
hit
at the
somebody.
helm next year?
With a new
They better
quarterback,
hit
like
somebody.
Wilson or the kid from Ohio State.
They better hit somebody if Mike Zimmer.
See, here's the
What does
thing,
Mike
though.
What does Mike Zimmer know about quarterbacks? I don't.
Do you want the Vikings with Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer to draft a guy like Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence?
To start
I'd
this
love it.
conversation, you have to say, what are the Vikings at the end of 2020? Are they 7-9? Are they 6-10?
No.
They're probably 7-9.
No. Well, and see, this was kind of leading into my.
they're not.
This was kind of leading into my point. So the Vikings are going to be just good enough to be outside the draft range to get those two guys. So to get one of those two guys, they will have to make a huge trade to do it.
Yes.
And now you're putting the future of real talented kids in Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or that kid from North Dakota State. I keep forgetting his name on Trey Lance into the hands of a guy who is a defensive coach.
It happens.
Really? Okay, it happens. But John Harbaugh, for example, when they got Lamar
Jackson's.
sorry about that. He was wise enough to completely change his offense around to match the talents of Lamar Jackson. He wasn't afraid to do it. Do you think Mike Zimmer would do that? Because I don't. I think Gary.
No,
I think
no,
Gary
okay.
Kubiak
Fuck no.
So a couple things
run
here.
his offense.
So a couple things here. Number one
Good point,
is
Ted. Good job,
the
Ted.
the Ravens example. John Harbaugh was a special teams coordinator. He hired Greg Roman, who was the offensive coordinator. Greg Roman had already seen success running the type of offensive system that Lamar Jackson would succeed in. So it's not something that happens every day. It was a conversation between Harbaugh and Roman saying, you know what? This Jackson guy, he's got skills, and I specifically know how to maximize him. Now, you bring that conversation to Minnesota, there is no universe where the Vikings keep Zimmer but draft a quarterback. That does not exist. It doesn't. Stop thinking about it.
Well,
Either
tell
Zimmer
me,
and
how
Cousins
many
are here,
different
or they're
offensive
both
styles
gone.
have we run with the different quarterbacks that we've had since Zimmer has been here?
Well, when you get a new quarterback, you have to run a different system to fit that quarterback.
Bingo! And to fit him, and he knows that.
Yes.
He's the guy
And
that gets the coordinators. He's the reason we've had 5 different coordinators.
Dave, if you
Head
want a
coach
new
hires the
quarterback, then you're not
coordinators.
going to get it with Zimmer. That's all
The
I'm
head
saying.
coach hires the coordinators. You know what, Hey, Dave, about 10 minutes ago, you said the words that you said this. This is what you said. Zimmer is a decent head coach.
He is.
He is.
Why should we settle for decent? Why don't we go for better? Why don't we try to get better, Dave? Better. Why is decent good enough?
Because I think better requires that key quarterback, not
decent.
necessarily the coach. It requires
why
that
better?
quarterback.
Why will you
You
not
can't
just
do it with a
admit that
fucking quarterback that fucking pads his
everybody needs to know.
stats.
Decent.
I can't do
decent.
this anymore.
You know what
This
decent
is
means?
wild.
Look in the
This is
dictionary. You know
wild.
what decent
Fire
means? Look in the
everybody.
fucking dictionary. Decent means
Guys.
500. Decent
Guys,
means
I-
average. Decent means
I've been saying
500.
it.
Decent means 8 and 8. Decent means 8 and 8. Decent is average. Let's get better. Let's do better. Let's
And
get
that
better.
takes the quarterback, Drew. The quarterback, not the fucking
Zimmer.
head coach.
Get your
I've been
balls
saying
off
it.
Zimmer. He's done. Zimmer had his shot.
I've been
He's
saying
fucking
it since
done.
week.
I'm not the
Since
one that
week
determines if Zimmer's hired. That's fucking Ziggy Wilf. I've told you that all
you're the guy
damn
who's the best.
season.
Every
Hey,
fucking week.
You're the
Flip.
guy that's on his. You're
Let
the guy
Flip
that's
talk
on his
here.
fucking jock. You are. You're the guy that's on his ball sack. You are.
Go ahead,
There's
Flip.
excuses for the guy. There's no excuses. We can do better than Mike Zimmer. We can do better, dude. Let's do better.
And we won't do better without the quarterback.
Oh my God. Okay, stop. Y'all need to fucking stop.
Oh,
I've been saying
God,
it.
this is funny.
I've been saying it since week 8. I don't even know how long. I don't know how long I've been cooped up in this apartment because of COVID.
Why is Zimmer gone?
Y'all want to talk playoffs? Oh, we can make the playoffs. Oh, look how easy our schedule is. Mike Zimmer needs to go 6-2 down the stretch or get the fuck out of my state. I've said it on the last 6 shows we've done. Go 6-2, go get to 8-8, or get the hell out of my state. If you go 7-9, you got to get the hell out, okay? You got to get the hell out.
That's up to the Wills. It's not up to us.
Well, and that's like when you say that. Well, you know what? I'm going to say it right now, Dave. If the Wills are okay with 7-9, then fuck them too. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that.
Whoa!
Are you?
But you're willing to take the risk of hiring somebody and then us becoming the Detroit Lions or the Cleveland Browns and be bad for decades.
Yes.
We're already the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes. We have a brand
We're
new
the Bengals, but at least we have
a brand
hope.
new training facility. We've got great ownership. It's now, you know what? They've done everything but win on the grandest stage. I love the Wills for everything they've done except for our playoff record. And now it's time to complete it all. New stadium, new training facility, bring us a fucking Super Bowl. That's what we're here for. That's why we were excited when they first came to Minnesota.
We'll be good every other year.
I'm not settling.
Every other year. Every other year, though, we're good. We're good every other year.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Of the 32 or 33 Super Bowl winning coaches, 6, I think, maybe 5 or 6 have won the Super Bowl after their initial 5-year run with that team they won the Super Bowl with. So the odds of Mike Zimmer winning a Super Bowl with the Vikings is very low right now. I would argue this should have been a playoff team in 2018. They were last year.
Yep.
I would argue they were good enough to be a playoff team this year because you have Kirk Cousins and they got Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook. They have arguably the best wide receiver tandem in the NFL, arguably. They have arguably the best running back in the NFL. They've got to add defense, but if you have an offense that's good, that is supposedly that good with that much talent, they should win you football games. Look what Seattle's doing with Russell Wilson and a bad defense.
You should be able to score 40 points.
So I'm done with this. I am done with this, 7 or 8 wins.
But if you look at every one of those,
I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking yet. I'm done with this 7 or 8 win team, year in and year out, never living up to expectations. So yes, I would settle for a first year coach that goes 2-14 or 3-13 with hope for the future to get the guy you want at quarterback for the long term, keeping those guys in place and starting anew, because I don't think they're going to get it done with Mike Zimmer as the head coach. I don't. And if you're not going to get it done, you're just spinning your wheels, brother. You're just spinning your wheels.
And all of those coaches that did it after the 5-year mark had the quarterback that did it.
Oh my!
And
I don't know.
every
how
one
to,
of them ended up in the Hall of Fame.
Like I said, there's no way to get a new cornerback with Mike Zimmer.
Sure, there is. Draft him.
No, he's not going to do that. He's Mike Zimmer.
You think Gary Kubiak would take a guy like Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or Trey Lance and develop an offense around what those guys' talents are?
I'm telling you.
Because they won't.
Dave.
They won't.
Dave, the way to go here is you fire everybody. And I know that, I'm on the younger side. I appreciate and I honor the older Vikings fans. And I realize they've been through way more than I have been through. So there's a little more urgency there. But what I would say to them is there's vegan diets, there's yoga, there's exercises you can do to buy yourself more time. because we're Vikings fans, and that is necessary, man. Anything you can do, 1 more season, 2 more seasons, add that to your life, because we gonna need it. We gonna need it. Fucking team losing to the Dallas Cowboys.
Spielman has had solo GM responsibility since 2012. Zimmer has been here since 2014. When do you pull the plug, David? When do you say enough's enough? We got to go in.
Hey, I told you earlier. Fire all 3 of them.
Mark Larson, Pat Mahomes would be a special teams player on a Zimmer team.
That's it. Hey, who is that? Mark Larson.
Yo, the comments are rocking tonight.
The best comment the show has ever seen. That's the best comment the show has ever seen. Mark Larson for president.
I mean, Mike Zimmer is a good coach as long as his system is running the way he intends it. I don't see him. He's an old school guy, and in a lot of ways, I respect that. The Vikings needed that mentality when he got here. They had just gotten lax under Tice and Leslie Frazier, just kind of for too long. So we needed to knock heads and kind of get everybody's attention. But that old school mentality also means he's fairly rigid in what his belief system is, and he's not very willing to change it. I mean, he went outside his comfort zone with John DeFilippo as an offensive coordinator, and that blew up in his face. So he retreated back to what he knows. That's play field position, run the ball, and play good defense. Well, that works if you have a good defense. They don't have a good defense.
No,
I think
their corners. They got brand new corners. You've got so much injuries and COVID opt-outs and stuff like that. And you're pulling guys off the bench.
Everybody's dealing with COVID.
7-11.
Everybody's dealing with COVID.
Yeah,
and
like I said,
but he's just he's not flexible enough to adapt to an evolving environment. He just isn't, and that's okay if you're winning, but man.
He's been coaching his ass off the last 3 games. What do you mean he's not adapting?
No, the last 3 games were fucking jokes, man.
You know what he did? You know how they won the last 3 games? He took the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands and played 1980s smash mouth football.
Because it comes down to the fucking quarterback again.
Oh my god!
And if you think he would let a rookie grip it and rip it, you're high, brother. You're just high. He wouldn't.
The Mike Zimmer defense, win or lose, they used to hit people, man. They used to be like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
That season where, Teddy Bridgewater gets injured in preseason, Sean Hill has to start week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Defense didn't fucking care. They cruised through the first 6 weeks of that year they didn't even need an offense to perform. And what we have right now, it's the exact opposite. We moved on to Mike Zimmer, like Ted said. We needed a more hard-nosed attitude in Minnesota, and Mike Zimmer gave us that. But he did not give us that today. It is a very different attitude on the defensive side of the ball. And it's not players. It's attitude. You see that Chris Jones play. You see what Anthony Harris is doing. You see Harrison Smith missing assignments. The attitude on that defense is different. So it can't just be the quarterback when the defense, they're not knocking heads. They used to knock heads, man. We used to watch Linval Joseph and be like, "Oh, damn! Look what that son did." That's not happening anymore, man. What's the biggest
thing
I can remember today?
Harrison Smith does a perfectly good tackle and then gets called for leading with the head.
Fine. I'm fine with 5 personal fouls a game if they're going to call the flags, as long as Mike Zimmer's defenses have that mentality. Win or lose, hit people, and then offense. Do whatever we got with Justin Jefferson.
I'm more worried about Pollard running through a high school defense for a touchdown.
Anthony bringing up Sendejo. Sendejo is a perfect example of Mike Zimmer. Sendejo wasn't a good football player, but he hit people.
Yeah, half the time it was our guys, though.
Hey, that's what I want.
It's tough. This is a game that we came off 3 in a row. We're all thinking, we all thought we're at home. We're going to win this game because we've won 3 in a row. Dallas has lost, a couple in a row, 3 in a row. We certainly should have the momentum going into this game. And I think the Vikings just made too many mistakes to win it. I mean, it's almost like they didn't it's almost like they wanted to keep committing mistake after mistake. I mean, they came out in the second half and played better, but this was a total meltdown compared to what we've done the last 3 weeks. And it's what I say again. It's the Zimmer inconsistency as a team. The Vikings should have been high going into this game, just ready to kick some ass, being the 3 in a row, but they laxed all week. I know they did. I can tell by the way they played.
Oh, and I was the one that was worried about the game, and you were the one that called the 41-point victory.
No, That's but true. If you look at the thread today, I was absolutely worried about the game.
On the thread you were.
If you read the thread this morning, it said, this is the type of game where Zimmer shits the bed and we lose. So let's talk about what I said recently.
I thought this was going to be the 2020 year. And, in that game, offense lit them up. Defense got beat by gimmicks in the first half, but those gimmicks that the Broncos ran fell off in the second half, and the defense crushed the second half of that 2019 Broncos game. You look at this game, offense popped off, and defense, they need answers. So we'll see where they come from. We got 6 more games to find out.
How can you watch the first half of this game and say that it's not on the head coach, at least partially? I mean, how can you say that? That's ridiculous.
Okay, let's go easy on Dave, man. We give him enough shit.
Well, I'm just saying.
With that,
like Norm said, what's his name? What's the Eagles? Herm Edwards. If your team's not ready to play, that's 100% on the coach. That's coming from Herm Edwards, and he knows a little thing or two about football.
Arthur Smith, Titans offensive coordinator currently, next Minnesota Vikings head coach. I'm preaching it. Arthur Smith, start watching Titans games after you watch the Vikings. I'm telling you, we got head coaching candidates. We can build a new regime that works with Dalvin Cook, that works with a wide zone scheme, that maybe, you get a new quarterback in there. But you got to start saying, Mike Zimmer, if you're not giving us a good defense, then what are you?
I want Eric Bieniemy.
If you're not giving us a good defense and you're the defensive guru, then what are you giving us? Flip is exactly right.
True.
With that, we've gone almost an hour now. We're going to wrap this up. Last words there, Flip.
I was really excited. Mission 500, trying to get back to 500 so we could actually talk about playoffs. We ain't doing that. We're not talking about playoffs right now.
Let's not mention that anymore. The rest of the
Ted?
Fire everyone. I'm still even if they go 8-8 or 9-7, which I don't think they will. I mean, it's time for regime change. It just is. Felt that way since the end of last year, even with that playoff win. And I've never felt more strongly than I do right now.
You have, Drew.
I heard some grumblings about 7 and 9. Well, you better get those wins real soon because the Vikings ain't winning the last month of the season. So, I'm telling you right now, you better grab those fuckers real fast. I don't see that happening. We're not a playoff team. Really, really tough loss today. I thought they would come out and win, being how they played lately. But they'll regroup and we'll go at it again next week, won't we, boys?
Absolutely.
Really appreciate all the comments, everybody watching. I know it's tougher after a loss. But hey, it's all season long, so keep on tuning in.
Absolutely, and we go on into this week. Have a great week. It's Thanksgiving week.
We got JR in the comments.
Yep, it's Thanksgiving week.
Hey, JR.
Remember what you need to be thankful for. Mike Zimmer isn't one of them. But
I'm thankful for my lovemaking prowess. I'm pretty good, man.
That's not what Ruby told me. But anyways.
Never mind. No.
Everybody have a great week.
That's how we're going to end it. That's how we're going to end it. Thankful for Justin Jefferson. 18, doing the gritty. Ted's going to learn the gritty dance. Do it on the next episode. Y'all
Throw
tune
my
in.
back out. No.
Hey, if Ted does the gritty, I'm shooting him 3 cases of beer. I want to see the gritty from Ted. Easy 3 cases.
All right. Thanks, guys. Everybody have a great week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving if you can, if you're not locked down. Woo! And we'll see you next weekend. SKOL, everybody.
SKOL
Have a
Vikes.
good Turkey Day.
Later, guys.
Sick.
Thanks, guys, for making me smarter. You guys always make me smarter.
God, my sides hurt from doing this show. Yeah. Oh, God.
Thank you for watching or listening. As always, if you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And if you're listening to the podcast, please rate us on your favorite aggregator. SKOL, everybody.